Good afternoon, everyone. This is Evangelist Kumba. My topic for today, put God first, not your desires. Put God first, not your desires. Deuteronomy 6 verse 4 to 5 says, Hear, O Israel, hear, O people. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. This verse makes it clear that God is to all the highest place in our heart. Our greatest love and deepest affection must be given to Him. If we love something more than God, we are saying that God is better than better. That thing is better and more valuable than God. God wants us to put Him first in our lives than anything. In Matthew 6:33, which says, But seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you, which means to desire God's righteous rule on the earth. Your love for material things will one day fade away. Riches cannot give you peace. With your riches, your job, your business, etc., you can serve God with it. It does not give you peace. So use it to serve God. Use your riches to serve God so you can get peace, joy, and hope. Most time, people love people more than God. Most people worship people. The Bible makes it abundantly clear that God is the greatest, most valuable, and precious in the universe. Matthew 13:44 to 46 says, it demonstrates how people treat God. In other words, when you don't put God first, it's like finding a priceless treasure in a field. But instead of selling everything you have so that you can buy that field, you bury the treasure and never think about it again. It's a treating treasure like trash. In other words, when you find a treasure in a field, you value it. But now you find God as a Christian. Did you value God? Do you have time to spend for God? Most Christians today are half-hearted Christianity, which don't put God first in their lives. Putting God first means serving Him with everything you have. It also means allowing His love for you to overflow into your life and the people around you. There was a man who loved God so much, and his life, who gave all his life for God. This man is called David. David was the king of Israel who lives for 70 years. Within these 70 years, he accomplished a lot. He had to endure many hardships and consequences because of his enemies and his sins. David was far from a perfect man, but he was a man willing to own his transgressions and make things right with God. David made sacrifice to God. David prayed to God. David fell at the mercy of God. David confessed his faults. David repents of his sins. David's life demonstrates that God was everything to him. Christ must be everything to you, and He will be if you put Him first. David is celebrated both on earth and in heaven, but God put him up. He was lifted up by God because he put God first. In 1 Chronicles 17, read the whole 1 Chronicles 17, where David demonstrates his love for God. David called a prophet called Nathan, that he dwell in a house, but the ark of the covenant of the Lord is under a tent. David felt in his heart to build a temple, which today we call a church, a house for him, because he was a house for him. And then God said to him, you cannot build a house for me because there's a lot of blood in your hands. Why? He was a man of war. Only his son Solomon will build a house for him. David prepared everything necessary to build a temple for his son Solomon. Because of that thought, King David hard for God to build him a house, which is the temple. God bless him and his descendants forever. When King David heard that his son Solomon will build a temple of God, David praised God for his perfect plan. David built the temple was to honor God. He knows what God has done for him. As Christians, we all have that privilege to advance the kingdom of God. We must show our motives as solemnly see his name be glorified. This is how to put God first. If you watch this video today, especially we that live in the West, I know people who said we have bills to pay, but find time to pray. There are people who have lived in the West up to their old. Walk. At the end, they get sick. Long hours. Taking more overtime because we need that money. And one thing with material things is like a drugs. If you build one house, I want another one. I want another one. I want another one. I want another one. And at the end, you are sick. You can't even enjoy it. You forgot about God. It's like a treasure you find. You bury it. If it's you, please think about it. Find time for God. Put him first than anything in your lives. Not men, not your wife, not your husband, not your children, not money. But he comes first. The Bible says when you seek him, everything will be added unto you. Balance life, walk with God. Balance enjoyment with God. Balance everything you are doing with God. Thank you. This is Evangelist Kumba.